Just when you thought you knew all there was to know about Mob of the Dead, tons of new information has been revealed. Never before seen files and information have been found on the leaked developer documents, in a misplaced folder that hid tons of extra development content around Mob of the Dead in its ideation phase. Before this, it was far and above the least documented Black Ops 2 map on the drive. We assumed it was because of the shift in themes between the zombies and campaign team, but now we've found some files that featured tons of unused ideas from across the studio, including many ideas from Kevin Drew, who is now the lead of Zombies, plus a never-before-seen perk upgrade system for the Black Ops 2 perks. All that and more will be featured in this video in our Cut Content series, so stay tuned. Hello everyone, Bob here, once again filling in for TGR. Mob of the Dead has always stood out as a unique piece of Zombies history, both due to its incredibly unique tone as a mobster horror story that stands very well on its own, but also due to the way it represents a hardcore shift in teams and development style for Zombies. If Jason and the campaign team had not taken the lead on Mob of the Dead to help alleviate some pressure off the Zombies team, it's likely that the large-scale shift in direction under Jason's leadership that catapulted Zombies into the mainstream with Origins and then Black Ops 3 would never have come to pass. Just recently, we did a video on some of the Mob of the Dead cut content we had found in the developer documents, but all of that content came from the final planning document for Mob and was therefore full of very late-stage cuts. This meant that lots of that content fit very well into the released map and was only cut due to time. However, this recent discovery is full of much earlier stage ideas from when Mob of the Dead was in its very early concept stages. This means we get a much larger repertoire of ideas with much more varied concepts. There are two documents labeled DLC 2 Ideas and DLC 2 Ideas 2 that are full of random pitches for things of Mob. Let's start with them. First up in these ideation docs, we have a bunch of location ideas that expand on the Alcatraz setting in ways that never made it into the final map. One pitch called for an escape from Alcatraz progression, where players start in the cell blocks and work their way out to the yard, then to the lighthouse or cliffs outside the outer walls, and finally to the docks to craft a makeshift ferry to escape across the bay. They even suggested adding a swimming area with zombie sharks and a spear gun to deal with them. This early plan focused on going underwater for parts of the escape, which contrasts with the released version that builds up to the roof and the plane instead. Another location concept was an escape tunnel, a secret area that connects to the outside and could be covered with a poster just like in Shawshank Redemption. They also brainstormed a switch system to delegate electricity to one of 4 different devices at a time, giving players advantages like a huge fan that chops up zombies in a tunnel, or an elevator for a height advantage. This would force tough choices since only one device could be active. The docs also reference key Alcatraz landmarks from Wikipedia, like the boat dock, library, morgue, officers club, parade grounds, powerhouse, water tower, and warden's house, plus the island's history, suggesting they wanted to incorporate more of these unique spots for varied gameplay areas. Moving on to crafting ideas, these docs are packed with buildables that emphasize prison ingenuity. Players could find pieces like a motor, rope, and planks to craft a raft as a shortcut around the island's edges, with each player needing their own planks first before anyone builds the rest. Another craftable was dummy decoys made from soap, toilet paper, and paint, which zombies would attack for a while to distract them. There was also a digging tool from spoons, a motor, and rubber bands that you could place over loose dirt or cracked walls to create tunnels or shortcuts across the map. In the weapons section, we see some wild concepts that highlight electric or prison-themed destruction. The Uber Tesla involved finding pieces of an electric chair to build a gun that makes zombies vibrate and explode, leaving slippery blood behind that causes other zombies to slide around. Electric parts from the chair could also be pulled off to electrocute zombies directly. Prison riot gear showed up as well, including a riot shield, a beanbag gun that blasts zombies individually like a weaker thunder gun, gas grenades, or a grenade gun that sprays accelerant so the next bullet sets zombies ablaze, a riot or cattle prod for close-range shocks, and a chain shotgun. The chain shotgun was a buildable that fires projectiles like old ship battle chains to cut zombies in half for crawlers when aimed at the midsection or decapitate when aimed at the head. It would be crafted from ball and chains found around the prison, with ammo that you could pick back up after firing or make more from extra balls and chains. They referenced Assassin's Creed 3 ship battles for inspiration on how it worked. The boomerang weapon appears in both docs as an infinite ammo throwable that returns to the player, acting as an area of effect tool where you line up shots to hit multiple zombies on the way out and back. It could be crafted or picked up, with an easy mode where you just aim and release, or an advanced mode using bumper buttons to switch between horizontal orientation for beheading or leg removal, and vertical for removing arms. This functionality got reworked into the Hell's Retriever Tomahawk that did ship, but no actual boomerang made it in. For perk machines, these early ideas introduced some creative twists on survival buffs. Electrolike would make players immune to electricity damage and effects, fitting if the map had a lot of electric traps, and protect you from chain reactions if nearby zombies got hit by something like the Uber Tesla. Handyman Tea would let you need one fewer item for crafting or craft faster overall. Dead Repellent, once consumed, makes about 50% of zombies ignore you and chase other players instead, with the chance dropping if more teammates drink it. Bottomless Mug kicks in when your ammo hits 0, solely refilling up to 1 clip's worth of ammo at 5 rounds per every 5 seconds, then stops until you empty again. Zombie Blood was a perk where you pour it on your head instead of drinking, causing blood to drip down your screen. At first, all zombies ignore you, thinking you're one of them, but as the blood clears over time, more start attacking until it's back to normal. This concept later became a power-up drop in Origins rather than a full perk. Ghost Juice, pitched by Kevin Drew, who is now the lead on zombies, would increase how long you can stay in the afterlife and boost your electric powers there. Rollerade, also from Kevin Drew, lets you re-roll the mystery box each time you pay, similar to re-rolling care packages in multiplayer. Ammo Cooler, another Kevin Drew idea, solely regenerates ammo while you're not firing, up to 1 clip's worth. Chief Noble's Fire Tonic Water acts like stopping power with extra fire damage on bullets, with a tagline, "Drink without reservation." Hard Knock Knockwurst Squeezins gives all melee attacks knockback like the Thunder Gun, letting you punch through weak walls to new areas, with a tagline about being brimming with vigor, vim, and knockwurst. Pruno, or Prison Wine, doubles revive time in co-op for bigger windows to save teammates, boosts last stand weapon damage, and extends afterlife time. It's made from prison scraps like fruit, ketchup, sugar, and bread for fermentation, fitting the Alcatraz theme. Enemies get some spooky and thematic additions in these pitches. Ghosts of the Island tie into Alcatraz rumors of evil spirits, possibly centuries old from Native American lore rather than just dead prisoners. Ghost zombies would float off the ground with draping cloth effects, move slowly, enter through walls, and let bullets pass through them except for headshots, which are the only way to kill them. Prisoner zombies could use an iron ball and chain as a weapon, referencing old punishments, although it might be technically challenging. They suggested sometimes sticking to core zombies in inmate and guard uniforms with dogs, fitting the setting, or modern park service guys if it was the current timeline. For variety, a heavy zombie, like an armored riot guard with extra health, slower speed, powerful one-shot haymaker swings with a baton, and ground pounds that knock nearby zombies down or shell-shock players was pitched. This idea likely morphed into Brutus the Warden, the only unique enemy on the map. Crazed prisoners, from Kevin Drew, act like dig-bad enemies from single-player, wandering in exposed cover and shooting weak guns at players and zombies alike. Both sides can kill them, and they drop their weapon on death. Flying birds, demons, or gargoyles, also from Kevin Drew, spawn in open areas like the roof or courtyard, flying around before doing diving attacks like in Borderlands. Rats attack in packs, weak to shotguns and grenades, but hard to hit with precise weapons. Death, personified as the Grim Reaper, appears if players spend too long in the spirit realm, collecting spirits to remove them from the game like time-based invincible enemies in old arcade titles. It limits spirit time more interestingly than a timer, ties into quests, and drops a unique weapon. Death patrols slowly when no one's in the spirit world, visible from the real world with a ghost shader for scouting. When you die, it chases, speeding up the rounds with more players in spirit. Real-world players can distract it by killing zombie herds if no one's dead. To defeat Death, you enact a ritual. Gather items for a circle in the real world as a crafting quest, activate it, then lure Death over to it in spirit form to pull him into reality as a tough boss. Clues would come from spirit world ghosts, such as a ghostly librarian pointing to an incantation book. Killing him sends him back faster and angrier, and the ritual can't repeat. If you have his scythe, he prioritizes you in spirit. The scythe is a melee weapon with a long windup that explodes zombies into gibs and hacks through barriers for new areas. The guard zombie would roam with a flashlight, reclosing opened paths or boarded spawns that players must rebuy, announced by a prison alarm. This became a generic zombie model with the closing ability given to Brutus, but for perks instead of paths. In the afterlife section, committing suicide lets you emerge as an ethereal entity to walk back and revive your corpse. If killed in combat, guardians like Dementors from Harry Potter or spirits from Prey suck the soul from your body, shown as a fading glow. You use an ethereal weapon like a bow to fend them off while involuntarily moving towards your corpse. Touching it revives you. Feedback noted that this reduces urgency and team revival fear. The afterlife feature shipped, but without fighting guardians or using magical weapons. For transportation, a makeshift crafted raft, like the escape attempts, or a prison airplane from Mythbusters' MacGyver episode, assembled from bamboo and garbage bags. One player rides it to crash in a unique spot, opening a door for teammates. A glider, alternatively, lets each player build their own from rooftops, towers, or cliffs, always landing at predetermined spots to avoid tech issues. The plane became the quest centerpiece, but not very much like this version. Traps include electricity-based ones like busted wires arcing in puddles, triggered by paid switches like in Verrucht. Water traps let you train zombies through a tunnel and then flood it. Opening or closing all cell-block doors toggles access to different sections, locking some while unlocking others. A fan duct entrance diverts zombies when powered on, preventing entry. Spirit wards, from Kevin Drew, are candle shrines or pentagrams. In Afterlife, train zombies over them to ignite in the real world. Electrical barriers for hallways or cell blocks, charged via spirit world power. Pit traps are aborted escape tunnels with debris, cover them with points or crafts to walk over, but zombies break through and fall, with weight limits to lure groups. Grenade traps use grenade and wire or shoelaces on doors for tripwires. The docs mention torture references like the hole for isolation, force feeding tubes, or blackjacks, but note no official torture devices were ever actually used at Alcatraz, so it would have to be fictionalized. The delousing chamber treats new inmates with powder and hot water. As a trap, kite zombies in, seal the door, and spray corrosive solution to disintegrate them. This seems to have become the acid trap in the cafeteria. Excess pulls into a drain for collection as ammo for the Purifier weapon. The Purifier was a handheld flamethrower-like device that corrodes zombies entirely or turns them into crawlers if aimed at their legs. Minimal friendly fire stacks with other damage. It's overpowered, but requires crafting and refilling ammo via the delousing trap. Zombies get resistant to it in later rounds. Parts include tubing, a shower head from showers or chamber, a jar of solution, and a spray gun. Other crafting includes the ultra-low frequency klaxon mine, built from foghorn klaxons and prison loudspeakers, stunning zombies with sound waves for one-shot kills, but halving player movement in the area. Ghost goggles from Kevin Drew let living players see and damage Afterlife enemies, or boost gun damage against Afterlife zombies. Parts are broken glass frames, a broken ghost juice bottle, and a radio antenna. This ghost vision got used in Blood of a Dead's shield instead. The portable Molotov sling from Kevin Drew is a single-man Vorkuta sling for massive fire explosions and lingering flames. The parts were a rubber housing, a lighter, and a 6-pack of beer. Tesla spikes, also from Kevin Drew, are secondary grenades like multiplayer taser spikes. Throw 4, they shock nearby zombies to slow them, and connect to form electric walls for strategic entrances, found in the mystery box. The skeleton key opens doors at half price and reveals unmarked doors or secret passages. The dog whistle summons a ghost guard dog like Rin Tin Tin for 1 minute to auto-attack zombies or fetch power-ups and perks from afar. It aids you in Afterlife if you die with it. The prison zip gun is a handmade 4-barreled gun firing 1 to 4 shots at once like Black Ops 2's Sniper Storm, with animations instead of UI. High damage, big spread, slow reload, good for crafting. In the other category, a new team system uses a global kill count as currency. At round ends, vote to spend on upgrades like ammo replenishes for 100 kills, 25% door cost reduction for 50, double points next round for 500, or free revives for 600. This would promote teamwork over point hoarding. Instead of buying doors, use points for objects or feats to unlock from the other side for an escape field. A time or parallel universe device would overcome barricades like collapsed walls. Switch times to pass undestroyed versions, but time drains points or ages you, changes weapons to era-appropriate ones, and introduces new enemies. Dangerous, but useful for fetching items across timelines. New player characters would include real escapees. Theodore Cole and Ralph Rowe, who filed through window bars in 1937 and vanished in a storm, listed as missing, presumed dead. John and Clarence Anglin, plus Frank Morris from the 1962 Escape, famous from the Clint Eastwood movie, using homemade drills, false walls, dummy heads with hair, and raincoat life vests and raft. A fourth man was involved but left behind. A body in similar clothes washed up later, too decayed to ID. These are all missing, presumed drowned. And finally, these docs tease a never-before-seen perk upgrade system for Black Ops 2 perks, and luckily we have a full spreadsheet breaking down the details on how it would work across all the core zombies perks from that era. This system revolved around earning upgrades through specific challenges or rules, while risking downgrades for failures, with tracked stats to monitor progress in audio, or visual tells to signal when upgrades unlocked. It seems very similar to Jimmy Zielinski's permaperk system, but with more definable visual tells and specifically centered around the Perk-a-Cola. There was a global rule requiring players to purchase their full perk loadout in 25 consecutive games to make perks eligible for upgrades, with the downgrade if you bought no perks for 2 games. Stats would track total and unique perks purchased per game, and tells included an audio jingle from Richtofen, plus knife icons on certain perks as a giveaway. Starting with Quick Revive, the rule to upgrade involved buying it plus performing 5 revives per game across 5 consecutive games, plus reaching 100 total revives lifetime. This upgrade would let you revive teammates in a 10-foot radius for easier group saves. Downgrades would hit if you failed 3 revives lifetime, with stats tracking total revives, consecutive games, and failed revives where you started but stopped and the teammate bled out. For Juggernog, you'd need to get hit and survive 100 times lifetime to unlock the upgrade, which boosted strength by 50% for even more durability. The downgrade triggered if you got hit with Jug and went down 3 times, with stats counting hits survived or downs with and without Jug. Tells were a Stage 1 knife icon, evolving to a glowing icon at Stage 2. Speed Cola required 50 consecutive partial reloads to upgrade, turning full reloads into partial reload speeds for quicker swaps without changing the timer. You'd downgrade if you let a weapon run completely dry 10 times in a row, with stats on partial versus full reloads not tied to specific weapons. Tells included an audio jingle, a Stage 1 knife icon, and a Stage 2 glowing icon. Double Tap's rule was maintaining 90% accuracy or higher in 2 games, plus a lifetime accuracy above 75%. This upgrade slashed the purchase price of Deadshot Daiquiri by 50% for better synergy. Downgrades came if lifetime accuracy dropped below 75%, with stats on accuracy game to game. Tells were an audio jingle, Stage 1 knife icon, and Stage 2 glow icon. Stamina Up, listed here as Marathon, unlocked its upgrade after running a total of 26.2 miles, boosting sprint distance max by 50% for longer dashes. The downgrade was simply buying a sniper rifle and possessing it, with stats on weapon purchases and distance traveled. Tells matched the pattern with an audio jingle, Stage 1 knife icon, and Stage 2 glow icon. Deadshot Daiquiri needed 25 headshots in one game using shotguns or projectiles to upgrade, which would reduce shotgun spread by 95% and snap aim to the neck, plus remove projectile fall-off for better range. Downgrades would occur if you failed to buy a shotgun, projectile weapon, or Deadshot itself in a game, with stats on gun type purchases and headshots from those types. Tells were the usual audio jingle, Stage 1 knife icon, and Stage 2 glow icon. Mule Kick's rule kicked in once purchased, requiring players to maintain 95% ammo use on any weapon in their loadout before discarding it for a new one. The upgrade granted a Bowie knife with all future Mule Kick purchases for an extra melee edge. Downgrades triggered if you traded a weapon with more than 5% ammo left while holding Mule Kick, with stats on perk purchases and weapon ammo percentages. Tells included, as usual, an audio jingle, Stage 1 knife icon, and Stage 2 glow icon. Finally, Tombstone Soda required successfully retrieving your kit at any percentage left a certain number of times in a game to upgrade, although the exact count is marked as X in the sheet. The upgrade gives random bonuses on future retrieves, like packing your unpacked weapon, adding 7,000 extra points, or teleporting closer to teammates. Downgrades came from failing to revive a teammate, with stats on perk purchases, revive failures, and kits retrieved. Tells were an audio icon, Stage 1 knife icon, and Stage 2 glow icon. All of this shows how Mob of the Dead could have been even more packed with prison escape inspiration, spirit world depth, and creative weapons, plus a deeper progression system for perks that never saw the light of day. What do you think of these cuts? Would Mob have been better with any of this? And was it interesting to get a look back at how Kevin Drew was handling zombies even back then? Let us know in the comments, and subscribe for even more Zombies deep dives. I'll hand it back over to TGR.
To conclude this video, I want to shout out the fact that I finally decided to make a Patreon and Cameo account, both of which will be linked below if you want to help support the channel. On Patreon, you can sign up for the lowest tier of just $1.50 a month to get exclusive access for my Discord, where we can discuss zombies lore, trivia, or whatever you desire. A place where you lot, my community, can better connect. Your names will also appear at the end of videos thanking you. For $5.50 a month, you get all of that, and I will be doing exclusive monthly Q&As. And for $16.50 a month, you again get all of that, and I will be doing exclusive lore videos, such as unpacking niche parts of the Treyarch documents I've been breaking down on my channel that don't as much suit a main channel video. For the highest tier, only for those with the ability to and who really want to help out the channel, you get special bonuses I've yet to determine and verbal shoutouts at the end of every video. Over on Cameo, I can do funny videos reading lines from zombies, memes like "How do we tell tell him birthday wishes for friends or family or whatever else you desire, practically anything. Of course, none of this is necessary, just watching and enjoying the videos helps me immensely and I greatly appreciate it. However, I think it's about time I start setting up additional revenue streams because Zombies' popularity is tumultuous and always goes through ups and downs. As I'm sure you've lately seen on the channel, viewership is down a lot. We go through big highs when new games release, but then during these drought periods, I need more income stability so I don't have to worry as much about it and I can focus more on improving the quality of the content. My highest quality videos are not always the ones that best please YouTube algorithms. So instead, this way I can produce my best work knowing I don't have to think as much about how well the content's going to perform. So if you'd like to support me on Patreon for exclusive content or would like a simple cameo message, you can do so to further support me via the links below, but only if you can afford it and you actually want to help me. Don't feel like you are forced to, don't worry, I'll survive. It would just help relieve some of the pressure during inconsistent periods on the channel so I don't have to solely rely on AdSense revenue and still maintain the sheer quantity and quality of content that I put out. Obviously I pump out literally a boatload of content and some of these are absolutely crazy projects over hour-long videos, so it's a lot on my plate, especially when these videos don't perform particularly well. And I've not been doing many sponsorships lately to help supplement revenue either, so it would greatly help. Thank you for any generous person once again who does kindly support the channel. It means the absolute world and will really help keep this boat afloat.